Tilly, ich wollte das Video eigentlich auf meinem englischen Kanal hochladen und das ging aber nicht, weil ich mein Passwort vergessen habe, die E-Mail-Adresse nicht funktioniert und meine IP-Adresse anders ist als bla, wie auch immer. Deswegen lade ich dann jetzt meine englischen Videos doch erstmal hier hoch und schaue dann später, wie ich das mit dem englischen Kanal mache. Aber ja, viel Spaß. I'm gonna start with my October reading wrap-up. I know it's like slightly late, but I've read 8 books. That's not too bad, even though 3 of them are sort of really short. Anyway, so the first book I picked up is called The Strange and Beautiful Sorrows of Ava Lavender, and I don't have the physical copy because I got it from the library and I had to return it, obviously. So this book is a generational saga, I think that's what it said in the back, and it follows like the great-grandma, the grandma, the mother, and Ava Lavender herself. What they experienced in their life, how they lived their life, and what happened. It was mostly relating to their love and love life and miseries that happened in their life. And it's rather like character driven and not plot driven, because not a lot of things happen, but it is still like it was written really like lyrical, I thought. So I absolutely loved it. I think I gave it 5 stars, and I was really impressed. And it's one of those books where the cover is just beautiful and you pick it up and you just want to read it, and then the inside does not disappoint. So I love that. So the next book I picked up is called Golden Boy, and I've seen it on BookTube, but I can't remember where. Anyway, but it was really intriguing to me because it follows an intersex character, which I don't know a lot about it, and it was really interesting to me. So so the story follows Max, who is like a really popular kid in high school, and he's supposed to be like really pretty and just really attractive. And his family's really successful and sort of rich, and the dad's in politics and everything. The mom's a sort of judge, I guess. And so he is this like shining golden boy, but the family and he himself has this big secret, which is him being intersex. So he's not exactly a boy, but he's not exactly a girl. He's sort of like both. And it's about how he deals with it, and things happen, and anything else I would say would spoil things, so that's just the premise of the book. And if that's not interesting enough to you, I don't know what is, because it's brilliant. I cried, I laughed, I learned a lot. It was really eye-opening, and I generally loved like reading about LGBTQ plus characters sort of thing, because really the whole white boy loves white girl romance thing is kind of getting old. So anyway, I love books like that. The next book I read is just a compilation of poetry by Andrea Gibson, and it's called The Madness Vase. I got it as a gift because my friend is living with me right now, and she just loves Andrea Gibson and her poetry, so she thought that I would enjoy it too, and I really did. So I kind of rushed through it the first time, to be honest, because I just wanted to like take it all in at once. And I know with poetry that's not the best approach, but I was like impressed with the first few ones, and then of course some of them speak to me more than others, but there have been a few that I've just read 3 times because they're so beautiful, they're so strong, and so like just world changing sort of. So I really want to pick up more of her poetry, which is kind of cool because my friend brought 2 more books of her. So I'm definitely going to read more of it, because I don't know why, but I just don't read a lot of poetry books, even though I love it a lot. It just doesn't like occur to me to buy a book of poems for some reason. But this really refueled that need to like read more poetry. And then the next 2 books I got from the library were Good Bones and Simple Murders. Wait, give me a second. Good Bones and Simple Murders and The Tent, which are 2 books, or sort of, I guess 3, I don't know, and they're short stories and like just short prose and texts by Margaret Atwood. I did that because I wanted to read Mad Adam, which is like the 3rd book in the Orcs and Craig trilogy, and I just couldn't do it. I just could not get through it. I read like the first 50-60 pages and I couldn't get into it, and I felt really bad because I love Margaret Atwood. Like, everything I've read from her so far I absolutely loved, and I just couldn't get into Mad Adam. So I stopped it, and I was like, well, I'm gonna like have to make it up to her in my mind. It just made sense. I don't know. So I started reading her short stories, and I have to say that Good Bones and Simple Murders had a few in them that absolutely blew my mind. Like, I don't know how she can write like that. Like, it's just not humanly possible for me. So, I loved that. And then The Tent had one or two that really spoke to me, but the rest was sort of just like, nice to read, and it was good to like read on the bus because it was just short stories. But the other ones were kind of maybe just out of reach for me, like maybe I'm not in the position to understand those properly. So, yeah, but in the end, I really enjoyed reading all those short stories. Because it's a different medium for me, like it's a different thing than reading novels, which I normally do. So I've really enjoyed that. And then the next book I read, because I've heard so many good things about it, is A Girl Meets Boy by Ellie Smith. I've never read an Ellie Smith book before, but I have two more from the library now that I'm reading, like, currently. And I'm really, like, obsessed with it. So this book is a part of the Myth series, where authors reinterpreted or rewrote myths and, like, parts of Ovid's Metamorphosis, I guess? Is it called Metamorphosis? Oh my god, I'm so uneducated. But it's a series where they write books based on those myths. And this one is, I think, the most praised one. At least on BookTube, I've heard a lot of good things about it. And I just wanted to pick it up. And I was really, really impressed by all the, like, social commentary and all the things that were going on that just were out of the box, I feel like. It wasn't the greatest plot, it weren't the greatest characters, but just in general, I read it in a day or so. Like, it was a really easy read, but I just loved every page of it because it was, like, I felt like it was important to read it, because for me, it felt like Ellie Smith really put her heart in it and really put her attitude towards a lot of things just into it. Like, just everything she thought like, put it in the book. And I really enjoyed that. I thought that it was, yeah, politically correct, and it was diverse, and I just loved it. Then the next book that I read was recommended to me by, well, someone that I didn't even know read, and then he said it, like, we were talking about books, and I said that I love books where not a lot of things happen, but it's more like thoughts, philosophical thoughts and questions, and like character development and all that. And he said, well, then if you like that, you have to read the book Buzz Aldrin, What Happened to You and All the Confusion. It's a book by a Swedish or Norwegian, I think he's Swedish, author, I'm not sure. So the story follows Matthias, who is a gardener, and he's a really sort of plain character. Like, he likes to be in the background, he likes to be useful to the world, but not be the rock star, and he doesn't want to be like the first in his class, he doesn't want to be seen, and he doesn't want to be like famous or anything. Like, he just wants to be useful to the world, and that's his life. And he's always kind of lived that way, and then, you know, things happen, and it just follows him in his personal journey throughout a breakup and some more life changes and how he deals with that, and he meets new people and everything kind of changes. But what I love about the book is that the entire time the character stays in character. Like, there's not, like, the moral of the story is not, oh, he's introverted and he, like, likes to stay in the background, and then in the end he's, like, the butterfly raising or whatever, and then he's a rock star. Like, that's not what happens, and I really enjoyed that. And then the last book that I just finished last night, which is sort of November 1st, but whatever, is Life and Death. That's the Twilight that's reimagined by just swapping all the genders. So I was really excited when I heard that this is coming out, not because I'm a huge Twilight fan, but just because I think they're good books. I think the hate that they get and Stephenie Meyer gets for it is, like, not okay. So I picked it up, and I thought that there would be more changes in it, but it's really just the gender that's changed, and obviously Beau's personality is different from Bella's, which I really enjoyed. Like, I love Beau way more than Bella, and Edith was just as cool as Edward, so I really liked it, but I thought that there would be more changes and more like, it would be a different story, sort of, like, from a certain point that it would just go in a different direction than Twilight, but in the end it was exactly the same story, just one thing was different, which is totally fine. I really enjoyed reading the book. I think I gave it 4 stars, but it just thought that, you know, she would do something else with it. But I still really, really liked it, and like I said, I don't understand the hate that she gets for this. Like, at all. It's not the worst book in existence. It's not the most flawed relationship or love interest or whatever. It's just not, in my opinion. So I still really, really liked it. Okay, so those are all the books that I read in October. I hope that it was sort of interesting and it was sort of like mini reviews or just my opinions of those books. And I will probably make a tag because I love doing those. And maybe... I don't know if I want to get into book reviews right away because I'm just not great at them. But I will try to make more book videos on here, like, actually. So, yeah, I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time. Bye.